Right, hello everybody and welcome to step 20. We're going to use fractions as operators today. So today we're going to be looking at applying our basic rule of finding a fraction of an amount, and also we are going to apply some mixed numbers and some improper fractions as well to help us solve some of these problems. So let's have a look at our introduction task. Now in our introduction task, we're recapping on what we did yesterday. So we're going to find a fraction of an amount. I will do the first one, and then hopefully the next two you'll be able to do and apply your knowledge from yesterday. So when I find a fraction of an amount, my amount is obviously 24. I want to divide that 24 by my denominator, which I've circled. So I do 24 divided by 3. We'll find out how many 3's are in 24. I'm just going to use my short multiplication method. So I go 3's into 2 goes 0. I want to exchange those two 10's into my 1's. So I've 24 1's now. 3's into 24 go 8. So I found what 1/3 of 24 is. I now need to multiply my answer, which is 8, and I need to multiply that by my numerator. And that should give me the answer of 2/3 of 24. So 8 times by 2, 2 8s is 16. So that's my first answer. I'd like you to do the others now, and I'll give you a minute and a half to do that. So these are the next two answers. We have 24. 1/7 of 42 is 6. I've times that by 4, which is my numerator, which gives me 24. And then I've worked out what 1/8 of 40 is, because I've divided 40 by 8, which gave me 5. And I times that by my numerator, which is 5. That gave me 25. Right, let's have a look at our first question. It says tick the correct statements. 5/6 of 24 is equal to or the same as 24 times by 5/6. B is 2/5 of 15, which equals 15 times by 2/5. And C is 2/3 of 9 equals 3 times by 2/9. Now we're going to have a look very, very carefully at these number sentences. You'll notice in A, this proper fraction matches this proper fraction over here. And our amounts, our whole numbers, match here. In B, we have the same. We have 2/5 over here, 2/5 over here, and our amounts are exactly the same. However, in C, you'll notice in C we have 2/3 here. However, in our second part of our number sentence, we have 2/9. So there is an issue already here. And also our whole numbers, there is an issue as well. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at B. And I'm going to go 2/5 of 15. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply my rule. So my amount is 15. I need to divide that by my denominator, which is 5. So 15 divided by 5, you can use a short division method, or you can apply your times tables rules and find out how many 5s are in 15. 5s into 1 goes 0. I want to exchange then that 1 10 to make 15. 5s into 15 go 3. Now I want to times my 3, which is 1/5, by my numerator, which in 2/5 is 2. So 3 times by 2 equals 6. So that's 6 whole numbers. Now I'm going to have a look at my second part of my question now. And it's 15 times by 2/5. Now remember, when we're multiplying by a whole number, we were doing this last week, we keep our denominator, which is fifths, or 5, the same. And we multiply the numerator. So 15 twos, or 2 15s, is 30. So we've actually got 30 fifths altogether. Now I just want to convert that to whole numbers. So I go, how many 5 fifths? Because I know that 5 fifths equals 1. So how many of those 5 fifths, those whole numbers, are in 30 fifths? So I use my 5 times table: 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So actually 30 fifths is equivalent to 6 whole numbers. Okay, so I've actually got a balanced equation here. I've got on one side, this was equal to 6 whole numbers, and I'll show you just here. I'll circle my answer here, and also on this side, I've circled the answer here, that equaled 6 as well. So I'm going to give this a tick. Notice that if we go back to this one here, just here, notice that the fractions are the same, the amounts are the same, so I'm happy with that. I'm going to give that a tick. And then down here, my section C, I noticed that my fractions were different and my whole numbers were different. I'm just going to give that a cross. Right, let's have a look at our next task. So it says circle the calculations and amounts which are equal. So again, I'm looking at finding out my whole numbers from an improper fraction, and also I'm applying my basic rule of finding a fraction of an amount. So first of all, I'm going to look at this first statement here. Now remember, when I'm multiplying a proper fraction by a whole number, I'm only multiplying the numerator. I'm keeping my denominator, which here is 4, which represents quarters, the same. So 12 times by 3 equals, keep my denominator the same, which is 4 for quarters. 12 threes are 36. Now I know that 4 quarters equals 1. So now I can actually use my 4 times tables and work up to 36 and find out how many whole numbers is 36 quarters. So I use my 4 times table, and if I do 4, 8, 12, 16, all the way up to 36, that actually equals 9 whole numbers. So straight away, this calculation matches this number 9 here. So I'm going to circle this one as correct. Let's look at 3 quarters of 2. Now 3 quarters of 2, I'm going to apply my basic rule again. Remember, it's my amount, which here is 2, divided by my denominator, which is 4, represents quarters. So I'm going to find out. Now I can't do 2 divided by 4. I can't do it. So what I need to do, this is going to be a number that's going to be less than 1. So I'll place my decimal point in and my 0, my place of value holder. And now I can do it. I can do 4. 4's into 2 goes 0. My decimal point. I need to exchange my 2 1s. It makes 20 tenths. 4's into 20 go 5. So every quarter of 3/4 of 2 is 0.5. Remember now, I need to multiply by 3. So 0.5 times by 3 equals 1.5. Now notice in my two answers in the middle, one is 36 and one is 9. However, my answer here is 1.5. I do not circle that calculation. 3/4 of 12. My amount is 12. My denominator is 4, which represents quarters. So now I can divide 12, my amount, apply my basic rule of find a fraction of an amount. 4's into 1 goes 0. I exchange my 110, make it into 12 1s. 4's into 12 go 3. Now I need to multiply by my numerator, and here my numerator is 3. So 3 times by 3 equals 9. And notice that this matches this answer again here. So I'm going to circle this answer here. And then we've got 3 times by 4 twelfths. So remember, we're multiplying a whole number, we're multiplying a proper fraction, by a whole number. So we keep our denominator the same. So equals, and then we multiply our whole number with our numerator. So 3 times by 4 is 12. And that's nice and easy because 12 twelfths is the same as one whole number. Does that match my 9 or my 36? No, it doesn't, so I do not circle this one here. Let's have a look at our next question. Use the digit cards to fill in the missing numbers. So this is going back to what we did at the start of the lesson. So first of all, we've got 2/7 of 14 equals something. So something times by 2/7 equals 4. Now, notice I have 2/7 here. I have 2/7 here. I have a different number here. And I have a different number here. Now, if we apply what we did at the start of the lesson in our Varied Fluency number 1 task, the 4, this should go up into here. And the 14 should go here. However, I'm still going to work it out to show you. And then in this question, we have 4/5 of something equals 16. So 20 times by 4/5 equals something. And again, we apply the rule that we did at the start of the lesson. That should be 20. And then this should be 16. However, I will work it out. So 2/7 of 14. So again, our amount here is 14. We need to divide this amount by the denominator, which is 7, represents sevenths. And I want to find 1/7 first of all, and then multiply the numerator to find 2/7. So 7 into 1 goes 0. I need to exchange my 110 and make it into 14 1s. 7's into 14 go 2. And then I want to times it by my numerator here, which is 2. And notice it is 4. This answer matches the answer just here. Okay, let's have a look at 4/5 of 20. So again, I want to find, my amount is 20. I want to find a fraction of an amount. My denominator, which I'm going to divide, use as a divisor here, is 5, represents fifths. 5's into 2 goes 0. I want to exchange my 2 10s, make it into 21s. 5's into 20 go 4. Now I need to multiply that 4 by my numerator, and here it is 4. So I want to multiply that by 4 because I want to find 4/5, not just 1/5. And 4 times by 4 is 16. Now this matches this here. So an extra 5th would be an extra 4 on top, and that would give me 20. Right, let's have a look at this side now. Now I know that this works over here, so I'm going to give that a tick. This works here, so that I'm going to give that a tick. 14 times by 2/7 equals 4. So I'm multiplying a proper fraction by a whole number. So I'm going to keep my denominator the same. And 14 times by 2 is 28. So I've got 28/7 altogether. Now I know that 7/7 equals 1 whole. So I'm going to use my 7 times table and count up to 28 because I've got 28 numerators. 28/7. So 7, 14, 21, 28. That's actually 28/7 is equivalent to 4 whole numbers. So this works on this side. Now let's have a look at this. 20 times by 4/5 equals 16. So I'm looking at this one now. So I'm going to keep my denominator the same. I'm going to do 20 lots of 4 is 80. 4 lots of 20. And then I want to apply my 5 times table because I know that 5/5 equals 1 whole. So I want to find out how many of those equal 80/5. So I'm going to go on my 5 times table. I know that 50 is 10 lots of 5. So that gives me 10 wholes straight away. I have 30 left over. 5s into 30 go 6. So 10 add 6 is 16. So this works just on this side. Right, let's have a look at our next question. Our last one. Circle the calculations which have an answer of 20. So we've got multiplying a proper fraction by a whole number here and just here, and then in just these two here it's finding a fraction of an amount. So I'm going to start with the fractions of the amounts. I'm not going to circle it, just underline it. So I'm going to look at this one first of all. So 3/5 of 30. So remember, I'm taking my amount, which is 30, and I'm dividing it by my denominator, which is 5, represents fifths. So I have my 30, and I'm going to divide it by 5. 5s into 3 goes 0. I need to exchange my 3 10s for 31s, and 5s into 30 goes 6. Now remember, I have to multiply that 6 because that's only 1/5 I've found so far. I need to multiply that by 3 because I want 3/5. And 6 times by 3, sorry, not a very good equal sign, equals 18. That doesn't match 20, so I'm not going to circle it. I'm now going to have a look at my next one, finding a fractional amount. 4/6 of 30. So again, I've got my 30 here, and I want to divide that this time not by 5 but by 6 because that's our denominator in this fraction. 30 has been split into 6 equal parts. 6 into 3 goes 0. I need to exchange my 3 10s to make 31s, and 6 into 30 go 5. Now I need to multiply by my numerator. 5 times by 4 equals 20. So I do have an answer straight away on my second question that matches 20. So I'm going to circle that. Now I'm going to look at top left. So I'm going to multiply my proper fraction by my whole number. So remember, I'm going to keep my denominator the same. Now 30 times by 4. So 10 lots of 4 are 40, 20 lots of 4 are 80, 30 lots of 4 are 120. So it's actually 126. Now I want to find out how many whole numbers is 126. I know that 6 equals 1. So I'm going to apply my knowledge of multiplication to find out how many lots of 6 equal 120. Now I know that 10 6 equals 60, and then 26 equals 120. So 126 is actually 20 whole numbers. So that matches. I'm just going to apply, just going to find now my last question, which is 30 times by 3/5. Let's have a look. Now notice this matches this, and then this matches this. So I can already make a decision that because this didn't match 20, it went to 18, this would also be 18. So I've actually found my two answers. Okay, good luck. If you are struggling with it, make sure you either message me or your teacher. Do a question in a sequence. Do one question, have a look at my example, then go back to the video, do a second question, then look at the video again, do a third question. Don't race through the paper if you're struggling. Okay, and I'll speak to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.